Hit the record button for the tubes view. I got our bins. This is the stuff that we worked on previously. We have the little itty bitty version of Soundwave, as well with the Laserbeak cassette in, as well as Ravage there. I'm going to put that over to the side. And again, we have Laserbeak and the accoutrements that were usually lost by every kid that had them. And also Ravage. Again, with all the stuff that was lost by every child in the 80s that had Ravage. These were little chromed pieces, and I'm apparently missing part of it. I don't know where that happened to go. Probably fell off where it was kind of stashed. How that happened? Lego down, Lego down. Missing a Lego bit, which is around here, I'm sure, somewhere. Oh, found it. Just behind my building tray. So we got that all set. Let's go in and... Oh, I guess you guys don't have any music. Not sure. Oof. Heath. You're being in the way. Let's do that, just because I feel like doing normal music while I do this. Now you should have music. Sorry, I had Fisher who was decided he needed to be right in the middle of everything. So that was why the move sets over to the side. There's our brick separator. And we've got bag 7 ready to raring to go. This model, this Lego set was provided by the very, very lovely Codelex 13, my beautiful, spectacular girlfriend. This was a Valentine's gift. Did this last week on Thursday, which was not the best day since she has a ASL class that she's working on. And I do also want to thank Inspiron, who gave me a follow while I was offline. That is so greatly appreciated. And, oh, looks like we got an overflower. So we'll get another bin. I have a big stack of these. I got these. These are supposed to be for like dice rolling. I got them super cheap at my friendly local game store. And they work great when you're doing a Lego build or any kind of build. They work great. I use these for when I'm in chainmail to keep everything organized. And the shout out is no problem, Luna. You got this for me. You should definitely check out the podcasts that Luna is a part of. When those crop up, we do tend to advertise them here on stream, at least verbally. Everyone, I don't remember the next time when she's doing one with Colin and the European boys. But we shall. But we will let you guys know when those are gonna happen. There we go. There's the shout out to the Horrific Podcast. I've stuck this in the wrong spot because I wasn't paying full attention. One of the things I love about when I was a kid and growing up and started doing Lego, we didn't get brick separators as part of the kit for Lego. So frequently, if you look at from the olden days Lego sets, you'd see Lego rocking some tooth marks. Because if you had to separate your Lego, you used what you had, and you had teeth. And so that's what we would do back in the day. So I hope you guys don't mind the normal kind of rockin' music as opposed to anything Transformers related. This time I know that this will not come across in the VOD, which will be uploaded to the Tubes of You and Out and About and part of things. Ain't nobody gonna hear it aside from y'all, because I do have it set up so it only records the so it does only record the actual me and any other specific sounds. In fact, most of the sounds it just does not include at all. Just for safety's sake, for copyright and all that, especially since, listen to some copyrighted, this is currently Star Wars music. From the wedding scene in Andor. Or at least the wedding reception scene in Andor. If you know, you know. Let's see what's coming up next. We got some Persona now. Listens like. We're getting this all set. Believe we're building out the legs now, because as you can see, we've got Soundwave with his eject button, the arms all sitting here. I did mention the cool thing. So this little contraption right here, this little Technic build here, pops right out. It's in here, so we've got the sound brick, which my microphone does not pick up. I can bring it over to the microphone. And my settings are just so that those sounds get caught as noise, and that's probably for the best right now. But it is kind of unfortunate in this particular situation for that. Since I can't show off the sound that the sound brick makes. It happens. It is what it is. But at least I'm letting you guys know why you're not hearing those things. We do have... Are these the legs? Thinking leg. This reads leg to me. Yeah, the horrific podcast. I can't think of what else this would be other than leg. We're also doing one. Maybe there's a back piece that I'm not, that my brain's just not reading correctly on. Okay, Ben, you're getting dumped because... Ah, there it is. It decided to jump into the other bin. Gotta love when that happens. Come on. Come on, iPad. Connect to the chat. There we go. It's all back in the bin. In the bin you go. It's reads leg to me. Because it's about the same height as the side, so it's like a shin kind of thing. And bag 8 looks maybe a little similar, not super. I'm not sure. We'll find out as we proceed. Huh? Make sure the live feed's actually giving you guys some content. Am I dropping frames? Not officially, but we're having some hiccups, it looks like. Trying to move things around so that I can see chat and my instructions. Since I am doing the instructions on my iPad here. Okay. Move that. Thank you. They're getting these all placed. Looks thick, but still reads thigh to me. Um, the hardest about this, I'm assuming by hardest about this, you're meaning the set. What I'm assuming you're meaning there, Luna. Um, the hardest really is usually kind of figuring out what we're actually working on. Um, like trying to mentally figure out what's what and gonna be in those respective spots. Uh, looks like it's battered. Looks like it's sticker time. We got our sticker sheet. And then the usual trick when it comes to stickers, for those of you that don't know, use your brick separator. Get the corner up, put the brick separator under there. And use the brick separator hold it while you line things up. You get a much nicer application of the stickers, which I'd much rather these were printed, but it is what it is. Then you do if you're just like trying to do with your fingies. Yeah, and this does, yeah, this is going to be one of the legs going right in there. As you can see how that lines up there. Because the hands go behind. If you don't know how Soundwave transforms. Because it really does look like he transforms very, very similarly to how he did in the OG boys. And even back in the day, he was always my favorite Transformer. Both in cartoon and toy. Doing another sticker piece. And again, we can get the nice line up there. Well, I guess this is actually this side. Maybe, I don't know. Seems like it should be over here. We'll find out when we get it all pieced together. Let's get the sheet back over here. Now we get kind of an interesting arrangement because we've got these cross pieces, but we have some, they're not being, where that hole is not being utilized. Don't know why my connection is getting so spotty. This will all look proper and good when it goes up on YouTube, which should be pretty soon. I just have to figure out the timing for the release. Mainly restricted by my laziness when it comes to wanting and needing to do thumbnail. I've been a little bit on the lazy side when it comes to that. Just had some stuff going on and needing my Wednesdays for other things. And Wednesdays are usually my days when I do the thumbnails for the YouTube. That's been kind of the restricting factor. I'm glad things are looking good. I'm occasionally looking over at my my bandwidth, and I'm not getting dropped frames, but I'm getting really abhorrent connection rates and I'm just gonna continue to blame uh uh which is inbound servers, um their ingest, um because that always seems to be the problem. Like, everything else on my end should be working fine. It all seems to be. Everything seems to be working correctly on my end. No other internet issues, any of that. Their servers just don't want to take my shit in. Pardon my language. We start making hinges in that for leg kind of things. So we can, yeah, this one we've got the ability to move that into place and shift things about. So if you were one of those people that knew anything or had anything to do with Transformers in your youths, who was your favorite Transformer? Who was the ones that you cared about? It sparked joy within your youthful days of misdeeds and that kind of thing. It's snapped together. I love these ratcheting pieces. They definitely guarantee that you're going to be able to make things into solid connections. That's correct. No, of course not. Yeah, this piece on backwards. Feed this guy through. And even though this did give us the option to rotate, now it doesn't. This is blocked in place. I don't know, sometimes it's confusing why they do what they do on that. But, they make those selections. We can move these bins, because it's all going to be small parts from here. Just from this little bin here. Lock that in place. That all the way on through. Mirror one, and then this one going in the opposite direction. Go all the way through. All the way through. Right. And that goes on there. There. Just got lots in there. Allows us to move this part as kind of a cover. Yeah, we got the leg portion. Get the leftover bits from bag 7. Painted black is always great. Give a little serif there on the 7. And now we'll move on to page 8. Try and get everything tidy. Keep things less of a mess. I'm not uploading or doing anything. Please stop. Just looking over at my OBS and my network connections, and I don't know. Small baggie. Around. We got another small baggie. We got bigger baggie. We'll probably do with this one. We do the small bags, the 2 bags of small pieces, and we do want to kind of keep those organized. At least I always find it makes it my life a little easier. That frame. When it comes to this one, we'll not proper knolling, but at least separate out the grays. It's kind of easier to rummage through here once rather than every single time we've got to find a gray piece. Fully evolving the chaos build style. Looks like everything. If that all over just a little bit, hopefully everything's staying mostly in a frame. Is everything continuing to look good for everybody, or at least mostly? Here. And here's the Rickroll. Streams Rickroll. As you know, you gotta have one of those on occasion. The Rickroll from the crew formerly of V Shoujo. It's like short. Continuing the process. That's that. Get that all set. Continuing on, making hinges and other bits. It's always interesting when you're doing stuff and you can start to tell what's going on and what you're making. Like when I could tell what I was doing with the cassettes and those kind of things. Oh, now we got a sticker which we're for some reason applying after we've built block. After we're applying this after we're getting this set. So technically it's supposed to be, we're, according to the instructions, we're supposed to be building that way, but this. So I'm going to rotate this since I've got the sticker on there. Separator this way. Then you don't get a lot of overhang. It's just, you get the stuff nice there. Mounted in there. We get some Blade Runner going on, which is thoroughly appropriate for my my goofiness, my on-screen goofiness. Goofiness. I think we end up making fairly complex hinges here. You can get stuff that does that. I think we're building the foot. Could be wrong though. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the pile. So how's everybody doing today? We having some relaxation, or at least vicinity of it. Nice relaxing Friday. At least theoretically. Continue building more and more complex contraptions. Maybe boxes, maybe bags 7 and 8 are just one leg. Position there. That. Okay, so now you're taking this and it's connecting in here. Back, seeing if I've got this. Yeah. That's kind of the direction we're supposed to be going. Making forward strides. Ever onward, ever forward. I know you might. This is getting kind of hidden behind chat. And hopefully y'all don't mind too much. Getting that all connected there. We're gonna about another 5 minutes before the next ad break. You guys are all aware of that being incoming. And remember, if you're gonna sub or gift a sub, you can just go into your and you only have access to mobile. You can go to Twitch on your mobile device and just not do it through the app. And you can still get the good rate for the gift sub if you're going to gift it to somebody and get that ad-free experience, and then give them that ad-free experience. Without getting charged extra for the privilege. You can just open twitch.tv/Ravenwisha on your Safari or Chrome on your phone. Looking for, had to find the bit. Sometimes the best laid plans of organization fall victim to the chaos bill. Best laid plans of mice and men. Fall victim to chaos. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's having a good day. I know Luna's stuck in office mode at the moment. Because you know how that goes. Some bad omens here. Hopefully the music volume's okay with everybody. Not too problematic. Not too loud, not too quiet. As we get this all connected up. And remember, subs get you ad-free viewing, so you don't have to be subject to the advertisements of Amazon. But remember, either way, you are helping me out. Since I am an affiliate, I get that ad revenue. And them subs. So either way, you being here helps me out. And I appreciate every single one of you who is here watching me. Y'all are great. Lock this in. Oh, there we go. I will say that this transformation does hide a lot more of the piecemeal crimes than the OG G1 toy. Because you'd have the hands that you have to take off every time, and you'd have to make sure you didn't lose those, find somewhere to stash those. Just like with the extra weapon packs. On the cassettes. Trying to keep everything as much of things in frame as I can while I'm doing things. So y'all can get a full view of the build. Looks like we're starting to build the other side of the leg. We're starting to do stuff here that we did. We're building out over here. With some slightly different pieces. Here we got that poking out there. Now we got a little bit of a Tokyo Ghoul opening theme. I think there's a Series 1's theme. And I do hope that the crew at the Horrific Podcast does maybe decide to start streaming more of the podcast on Twitch itself and not just on their YouTube, but streaming on YouTube is just fine. What's really important is they and Luna are putting their stuff forward for the world to see. Thoughts, opinions, all of them. I really do think we are building this side. The way it's feeling. I'm there. Let that build up there. And more level surfaces. As we work to make stuff that can click into other stuff. Now we start building out the tile on this side to disguise all the studs here. And then make everything more solid. Because these all lock other things together, as well as making things nice and tidy. And see, this one, because it overlaps these, this locks in this, so this one can't really go anywhere. And now, it all lines up here. All these pieces line up, all snaps together. Ah, I don't know. I guess we'll see how this all is intended to line up. Said and done. Empty bin, all amount of pieces left. Haha, tiny bit. Back here. Slot in here to lock, make sure this kind of locks everything, give this a stopping point so it doesn't just keep rotating. Ah, that's all. That all folds there, and then this can slide over. Cover that. And yeah, we got our leg here. Hold our fists up. Latch that in there. You see, we've got that. That folds up there. And this hinges down. To create the shin and the place where the foot is. And this is what's all folded up in. That covers that. You see, with this arm folded back over here, just anticipating how things are going to go, that folds down there. This folds up like that. I'm just speculating on that, since we are where we are. Let's get bag 8 labeled, our one remaining individual bit. No serifs in the 8. Thanks for that, Pikachu Luna. Remember, if you are sticking around, throw something in the chat so Twitch doesn't decide after a while that you're no longer actually a viewer. It gets a little testy about that sometimes. And especially with kind of how long my streams end up going, it likes to do that fairly often. Put out our bins there. Sure. There. We got peg 9. Yeah, it looks like 9 and 10. 7 and 8 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 are legs. We're probably going to continue the trend of splitting some stuff rather than making yet another bin. Just kind of have our small bin 1, small bin 2. Put that over. Separate our grays. Into the chaos pile. Once more into the breach. John Wick. At least I first heard this song during the club scene in John Wick 2. That's where I believe this is from, if my ears and my brain are coinciding properly. If I Yep. I am in fact correct about what I was hearing. It's from the club in Rome, or not really a club, the Colosseum in Rome. In John Wick 2. Jonathan. Need to find a spot to put. These guys getting a little big from my building area, so I'm going to put him over to the side over there so we can. We'll bring him back in. Good. A little bit of beverage. Today's flavor, raw meat. And a sample pack of it. Not necessarily my favorite, but not. I was kind of dreading the flavor of it. So, it is better than I'd expected for my taste. I'm not usually a fan of watermelon. So we are kind of building right now we're kind of building a mirror of what was bag 7. Kind of the flip side. You know what I really appreciate about this is how much effort had to go into being able to have Zen do a actual cover and actually be able to have the spotlight, especially with her old voice. I think she could do a lot more now with the new voice and the new setup, but I really appreciate that was the one thing that's still a positive takeaway for me from all those respected people and their time with that company. Say, because if one more light goes out, I stars just flickers as if runs out. Moment, all we are quicker, quicker. More light goes out. I do. Preview for y'all of let's give you an idea. I did my own version of the Wishing Song by Gonzo from the Muppet Show back in the day. And that's recorded and sitting there waiting for the millisecond that either I hit 10 subs on the channel or 300 follows. And once I have that, once we hit that number, once that has been accomplished, I'll start finding more shit to cover. I'll start messing around with that more. I mean, I know that I'm probably the last person you guys want to hear cover something. But you know, options and opportunity. And hey, I'm not a huge fan of my own voice, so prime way to get me to embarrass myself. Or at least feel like I'm embarrassing myself. Hell, if you like laughing at other people's pain and misery, I'm joking about that. Okay, so next we got the next sticker. One on this one was going to go across here. Stereo micro cassette recorder. Continue to use the brick separator method. Because the thing is, what ends up happening is, and here's a logic behind the brick separator method for this, is that when you're using your fingers, you're likely pretty much once you get it lined up how you think it's going to have to be, you're fully committed. When you're using the brick separator, you've got that little bit of pull there. Well, that's why you use the brick separator. It used to piss me off too. It is not a super pleasant experience, but once you figure out how to do it with the brick separator, it's so much easier and so much less frustrating. We do have our, and because we got our next sticker right away. Gonna put this guy on. And again, we just kind of, and you'll see that it tries to bring itself to the piece. And the biggest problem that I always ran into was like, you'd get the sticker laid, and then you'd have it hanging over the edge. And so you're sitting there frustrated because of that. And then we immediately go to the next sticker because we've got the L right there. Massive L. See how nicely that ends up with using that the brick separator method for applying those. And then this one's kind of interesting. I figured out, and I was just like pondering on this. You can put these, rather than having to snap these in, Since they're not a full sphere, you can kind of put them in sideways and then rotate them like that. And if you need to, twist them that a little bit with either another piece or this part of the brick separator. Get positioned. And this portion on the brick separator, as you can see, has a little bit more play to it than one of the actual pieces that's intended to have the clutch power. But just like on the other leg, we just pop this in here. Got some Bubblegum Crisis. I've been debating one of these days, and I'd love to know anybody who's watching's opinion. Doing doing an anime night on the Discord server. Just kind of watch stuff, have a community, kind of small community watch party of some anime all together as a community. But I don't know. I need public opinion on the matter. I know Luna'd never be super thrilled with it because she's very much guarded of her time with me off stream. Yeah, say like I said, Luna's a hard no. Jealous of me having time anywhere but with her off stream. Well, I don't know, maybe some of those 5 animes there, you are not the only one that needs to catch up on them. Now we got our next to last sticker. Last sticker is going to be probably when we're building the stand that the little Soundwave goes on. Get the sticker off the sheet. This time we've actually got the sticker lined up the direction it's supposed to go. I don't understand why in this particular step they had us build this and then put the sticker on before we put that on. Weird. This one and its counter step are the only 2 times that this has done that in this entire build. And it's a little weird to me that they chose to do that. Not even Bubblegum Crisis. Bubblegum Crisis 2040, because Bubblegum Crisis and Bubblegum Crisis 2040 are actually 2 separate things. Blade Runner. That all connect. And there we're gonna get the same mechanism that we had on the other leg. So I was just taking a look at things, and it looks like we have other pieces that are gonna hide other crimes, as I like to call them. Copy. Yes, it is indeed almost Luna's birthday, and she's coming to visit Nuevo Mexico for that illustrious event. Well, people will be nice to you out here. I don't know why you think everybody's being mean to you. They're not. People do just have a bunch of shit going on. Yeah, well, that's your place of employ. The sheer brazen level of incompetence at that place. I mean, from what I know, like, seriously, they have to be making an effort, like a genuine effort on the stupidity front there. Like, there has to genuinely be effort made for how boneheaded a lot of things are there. And see how this all folds up, that mechanism. But you know, like I said, your place of employ, like, anything that, like, half the time I hear you talk about things that are frustrating you, I'm like, here's how to fix it. And it's not like it's complicated to fix, it's just requires more than zero effort on the part of literally anybody with power in your workplace. But I mean, I guess that is the way it is in corporate America. There are people that are capable of finding solutions, but nobody's going to answer. It's not nobody's going to answer. Nobody's going to listen to them. because all that would require effort. People that would have to listen are dumb. Or at least are dumb in the aspect of not actually giving enough about what they're supposed to be doing. But whatever. It is what it is. And for those of you that aren't getting those ads right now, thank you very much for being here with me. I appreciate you being here. And we are finally done with the with that bin and the big bits. We're on to the next section, where we're creating the little hinged cover for the foot for cassette deck mode. Clear out that small bin. Wrong side. Here. Fold this out, and it plugs in right here. A little bit to give that effort. And see, when this folds up, this can come over, cover everything. And this hinge part is going to get covered over with another side piece right here, because that's definitely not going to be visible. I'm not going to want that hinge there to be visible. That gets us done with bag 9. Time to get that labeled on the bag. Bag 9. Because again, these are the kind of things that I do so that if in the future I want to take and dismantle this, I just reverse the instructions, get everything put back in their respective bag. Again, we got bag 10. Hit the button for the explosion. Explosions! And then this one, we only have the one small bit bag. We actually have a gray bin and a blue, black, and yellow bin. I do love jamming along with the music, singing along with it, because it's when I'm doing it. Because on the VOD, it's just me. It's just my voice. Because there's no music on the VOD. Not on the VOD, not on the YouTube video. It's just me. So me singing along and jamming along. It's just quiet, maybe some clicks. No, not even picking up the sound of Lego bites of the Legos moving. It's if I'm not jabbering, it's literally just might as well be no sound there. Anyway, we're putting things together the exact same way. It's a mirror of what we did on. Right now, we're mirroring back, doing a mirror of bagging. It's the opposite direction. Dun, 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 ding, dong. Make sure I get this on the right sides this time. And I heard some crazy stories this morning about some stuff that some shenaniganery of human beings in the recent past, which I can understand frustration in the aspects that I heard. Speaking of Dandadan, got that going in the right direction. Direczione! You were the stuff you were telling me about. I don't want to call people out or say anything if they're not here, which I don't think they are. And all together there. Yeah, just a stark contrast or seeing how people act versus how they should be. Yep. Gray bit ended up in the wrong bin. Gonna throw everything back in the blue, in the blue, black, and yellow bin. Because we are almost done with the leg the other side. Just yeeted a pea there. Good to see ya. Hopefully you're having a good day today. Building the Soundwave, a Lego Icon Transformers Lego Icons set that was gotten for me as a Valentine's gift by the lovely, beautiful, spectacular Codelex 13. How you doing today, Rick? Oh, nice. Late night. You know, it's nice when the workday is almost over. And when just a normal day is almost over. Oh, nice. Nice. I yeah. Art is hard. Art in general is hard. Um I do what I can. Um and you know, we get there, we make progress. Art is hard but amazing. I have an acquaintance that does pixel art. I actually commissioned them a while ago to do a lovely pixel art of my cat Fisher. I need to get on their case because they were supposed to at one point send me just the separated version of it so that I could use him as an emote. But there's been stuff in their life going on that Meg, Pixel Fart, the one that we met at the theater. Um, but there's just been kind of a fair amount of chaos in life for them, and I don't want to. One, it's not my place to share their stuff. Um, but yeah. That is correct. That's part of it. As well, and there's some other stuff with their partner that I don't want to. That again, not my place to share, especially not on my Twitch channel. Hey, sometimes you just gotta, when you're like, I'm bored, I want to do something new, you just have to go, what can I do? Am I capable of this? Um, it's kind of what I do with, um, when I did my Coyote model that I've got. And when I did Luna's pug model, it was what can I do that I'm comfortable with. I'm not good, but I figured stuff out as best I can. And I mean, you gotta do what you can. Like you gotta figure it out yourself. You can't sit back and go, "Well, I don't want to do this because I can't figure it out." You'll always be able to figure it out. Eventually, you will be able to figure out how to do what you're wanting to do. You just have to put the effort in to do it. It's like when me and my Twitch stuff. Um, like everything that I've done on my Twitch, every single thing you see on this Twitch channel, um, as far as artwork and that kind of thing, I had to do myself. Um, Either by like, at least for like layout and those kind of things. Yeah, there's some stuff that, is stuff that I've figured out and did the easy way. Like I didn't draw the New Mexico flag that I've got in the corner. I didn't draw like some stuff. I just is just artwork that I cribbed off of some social media stuff and that kind of thing. Um, I didn't personally draw the IOPSI bug that I have here on the stream. Um, but as far as figuring out OBS, getting that figured out, and making things work the best I can, that's all been on me. Um, I decided I wanted to stream. I wanted to figure it out. My first several everything right now is, in the not spectacular state, but it's progress. It's better than it once was. There are further improvements that'll eventually be made. We can have and will get better. It's what we do as humans. We strive to be better, we strive to do better, we eventually figure it out. Now, we get a bag set for page 10, because we're about to go on to bag 11. And I mean, it's like I have the digital artwork that this guy's based on. You know, he's upside down for y'all, but he is uh my kind of dream model to eventually have. Leg mounted. There's our standing Soundwave. He doesn't have feet yet, and his shins are empty, but we'll fix those. I'm sure very soon. We're gonna put him over to the side on the instructions. We have bag 11 here, kind of the smallest bag in a while. But yeah, I mean, it's like when I transitioned over to my current model, I went from broadcasting in 720p for all of my streams. Like we're just in one small baggie. This is probably the feet. Um, but yeah, I mean, we always we'll eventually all get to where we want to be. Things have been a little hard past bit. Things uh completely and woefully outside of my control, greatly affecting my professional life. Uh, kind of the reason why I'm still streaming so much. Because I mean, for those of you that are sticking around that weren't aware, my primary gig, my primary profession is I work as a electrician, flying Condor on film sets. Condor is uh, technically it's a brand, but it's an articulated boom lift, like a cherry picker. Um, Similar to what you'd see people working on telephone lines and power lines way up in the air. Um, Except I do so with big lights, big film lights mounted in the basket next to me. Um, but the past couple of years have been certainly a thing. Um, uh, Partially because of the whole film industry, and partially because where I am geographically. Um, and stuff going on with that. There's not a whole lot that I can't go into like big deep details. There's some uh insider information that's not necessarily covered by non-disclosure agreements, but might as well be. Um so I mean, it's kind of what we deal with. I would say I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but unless you work in the industry, It's a little hard to describe. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of the inside baseball. Hey, Jay Watch, good to see you working Pyramid Head. You know, Jay, since you're showing up to do some hanging out, why don't you answer that question that just popped in my popped up in the chat? The what's your favorite dinosaur and why? Because we all forget that like it's one of those things where people are all like, it's one of those times where you sit back and you're like, I'm an adult. Why do I need to have a favorite dinosaur? Why don't you have a favorite dinosaur? What harmed you so much that you feel that you are not allowed, because of your age, have a favorite dinosaur? And Rex, same question to you. Who's your favorite? What's your favorite dinosaur and why? And if you don't want to answer the why, just tell me what it is. I'm just curious. Because we're building the feet, rubber tires on here to. I'm gonna put the tray over here while I bring in the big boy. Put this in. I'm gonna get a snap as we get it in. Click. And then with this folded up, we should be able to fold that down and everything folds out. So we fold this up and back, and when we fold out the foot, everything in the shin moves forward. You guys really can't see. Fold up the shin. When we fold it down, when we fold this bit down, it folds all the shin stuff into place. And then we'll have this part will all end up covered later on. Dodicious. Oh. Unfortunately, I'm in a situation where, let me just a second. Really? Really, Twitch? Okay. Kind of one of the early ones when kind of one of the early mammals. Kind of one of the relative of modern armadillo looks like, maybe. That's a good choice. Certainly an interesting choice. Uh, I know that they are apparently one of the creatures in Ark. I know one of our other regulars probably has a greater dealing with them than I speak. With KF and the amount of Ark that he's played. A dream. Well, yeah, that sounds like a good choice, right? I wouldn't necessarily personally classify the dinosaur, but I mean, as a prehistoric creature, definitely acceptable. Hey, Rasmus, doing well. Working on the last couple of bags of Soundwave. We're gonna build in feet. And since you're live, you're actually getting the live music that's going on, which doesn't come across on my my VODs for copyright purposes. How are you doing today, Ras? Hope you don't mind if I call you Ras. I mean, I know some people are fiddly about how about their names, online and otherwise. Don't like having them shortened. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Literally looking at my tall neck, about maybe 7, 8 feet away from me. So I understand how that can be. When you just can't find those pieces. Oh, I just call you Rec because REC heck of a lot easier for me. Hopefully you're not killing too much, Luna. At least not now. Maybe when we're playing Fortnite or Overwatch or Rivals or probably not doing a lot of killing if we're playing Dead by Daylight. I do like that they're using the tires to give it a little bit of grip for the footsies here. Bring in discerned verve. Click. And I love this part, the part where you fold this back, you tilt the foot forward, and it brings the whole shin piece in. I love that mechanic. because then he's nice and stable with the tires on the feet. The only problem is, and it's a me problem. Yeah, that's understandable. You get toward the early morning hours, and the eyes don't play as friendly as they could. This is why what I do, Rest. This is so I pull out the baggies and I got a Sharpie. If I dismantle a set, I literally will pull out the instructions and I'll put everything dismantled back into baggies that I've labeled, just to make my life easier in the future. Um, it's a me trick. I know it's not for everyone. Um, and one of these days I do need to see if I could swear at one point I found an MOC, a mod that somebody had done of the Normandy, of the SSV Normandy from Mass Effect. Oh, nice. See, I use these are intended for like dice, like for Lego pieces, and when I knit chainmail, they're great for that. But now, I want to bag 12, the last bag of the set. Yeah, it's good to see that you got the sorting boxes. I use these. I think they're intended for like dice. Um, and that I got them at a gaming store, local, uh, small gaming store. Um, sorry about that. Mm. And I know that yeah. Mm. Okay, this is gonna bug me. So we got Soundwave's faceplate, which is chromed or at least silvered, and it's just bouncing around in the in the big bag. I'm gonna put that over the side so I'm getting more dinged up than it has been. Let's see. What color are we gonna? We're gonna pull the blue. We're gonna put the blue and chrome out here. I usually pick a color so I don't have to build so many of the sorting trays that I use. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I have I use so I also knit chainmail, and the one I'm and for my bulk pieces I use a my cat's here yelling at me. You guys can't hear him, but he's yelling at me. um but I use for those primarily I have a nah, you know what? Oh, good, there is another faceplate. Good. In the bin you all go. You are just gonna be in the bin. Don't want to sort you anymore. But I use from grocery store like deli containers. for my individual chainmail jump rings, because I'm sorted by color. Because when I knit chainmail, it's primarily in I do anodized aluminum, and so I have a nice color palette to work with. Shift. I'm gonna take a roll bit. Now we're gonna sort these. Are they likely to roll away? Another faceplate. Always nice to find more of those. Void here. I'm a kind of a chaos builder when it comes to building sets. So shift that around. Gotta love Pharrell Williams and Daft Punk working together. Throw one bit from one bin to the other bin. Because that's efficient. I don't know what piece we're making right now. My brain hasn't calculated out what the next segment is. Fisher, this is not a great spot for you right now. Chill out where you are. You can be at my back, but don't keep going to my spot that I'm going to be in later on. Fisher the cat, as with any cat, has to be right in the middle of everything. Because cat. Okay, guys, this is the battery pack on the back. Yes, on this. Then we end up kind of using the hide crimes, so to speak. We can hide the arms and whatever else we need to. First of those built. Stacks of 5, 1x3. For the times that what I'm doing gets hidden behind subtitles. Probably shouldn't too much on anything bigger than a phone. Everything nice and locked in. Time to lock in, people. Time to focus. This is basically the compartment to hide his head. I have this on backwards. Yeah, I got this on backwards. There we go. When you look at them and go, that doesn't look right. This will allow us to flip and hide his head. A nice platform there. Wave off to the side. Hopefully I got that on camera. Actually look at things. Consolidate a little bit. Maybe we're starting to build the dome here. The dome of the Soundwave. Yeah, looks like it. Looking for the lip here. We're actually starting to see the head take shape. I'm going to be honest with you. At least I'm seeing it taking shape. Yes, I'm aware of that survey. Page 40, well, you're making progress. You're making it. Taking you some time, but you're getting there. I mean, you got this. At least the main work of the day at your job seems to have started to slow down, so you're dealing with less stupid people. Worst part of your gig, uh, worst part of everything, customers. Slipping away, slipping away. Just like I was figuring, we are building out the head now. I always find it's nice to use the brick separator to kind of straighten out stuff so you can kind of see how things are gonna be. We got the crest and his helmet. We're starting to see Bad Boy coming together. Yeah, he's built in. You can go red or yellow. I'm gonna go the normal red. You do have the instructions for swapping those. Now we're fitting in the connections for the mouth plate. So we do have Soundwave's rather iconic face coming together nicely. And we got the head definitely coming together. And now get the head mounted in here. Then we are getting near the end. Gotta love when you're in that final stretch. Not because you want the set to be over with, but just, and you know you're almost done. And you have what we're listening to now, one of the most iconic pieces of in music media. Very few people know what it is. You might recognize part of it, or recognize where you hear it, where you've heard it from. But it's Edge by David McCollum, who that's correct. Snoop sampled it, among other places. But this is David McCollum, uh, from I believe in the Man from Uncle. Yuri Gagarin. He was also Ducky in NCIS. There are a lot of pieces that I think fall in that category. I believe this should be the shoulder cannon for a boy Soundwave. This also functions as one of his batteries. And you've got him in the in his other mode. We're almost done. We should be getting onto his handgun, and then the information display plate that goes beside him. Republica here. But the other piece I was looking for ended up slightly in the wrong spot. We're approaching the final steps. In the kind of the front prong portion. And more bits. We're getting near the end. The finale. Mounted in Big Boy's hand here. So there is the Big Boy Soundwave. Complete with gun, everything else. Take that bin out of the way since it's now fully empty of rolling parts. Start getting everything mounted together. Interesting, they've actually got a textured slope plate here, which the final sticker is going to go on. And I'm used to them doing the smooth ones on there, so that's an interesting thing. Maybe to reduce the static on this. For kind of this larger sticker. Come on, play nice. Just fine. Well, that's even enough. Soundwave there. Smooth, studded. Studded. That's our information plate. Now we're going to do a little bit of transforming of him. Take his head, flip all the way around. His hold up this foot. Right there. I figure out his arms. Second. Yeah, lift this up so I can. While I'm trying to figure out how to get his arms proper. Because once I figure out the first time, Hands fold in. Okay. Ah, yes. The hands would include possibly the fiddliest connection in this model, or in this set. There is Soundwave in all of his glory. Smooshed in. There's his cassette tray open. Transform. Laser beak. Drop him in. And there is Soundwave. That's the iconic cassette player. Then in our little display stand, we have spot for the mini Soundwave. And conveniently back here, a little slot there for you to put and then is there I'm going to assume that's going to go there. And that's going to go there. Probably that there. So that he at least has all of his requisite parts fully attached when he is in his cassette player mode. We got them all set! Hooray! And then to bring him back, let's disconnect the shoulder cannon. And the components for his handgun. Let me undo these back tabs. Use a lock to lock the legs in place. Rotate that around. Put that to the back. Pull the foot down to get to reveal the shins. Doing this mostly. Kind of mostly off camera. Bring him in screen part. He does have a decent amount of ankle swivel. He does. Out, lash in place. Hands back out. Hip clutch. Shoulder cannon. And hui palm. And there we go. Soundwave back in his robot mode. Or he does have that little bit of ankle swivel, so you can get some poses out of him. There we go. We've got him all set. Out of frame for a little bit. Transform Laserbeak back. Sorry for my abhorrently bad framing. So now I'm going to get our last baggie labeled. I can find my Sharpie. There's my Sharpie. Bag 12. I'll get the extra small bits thrown into bag 12. And then get this all put away. And then now we're all set with that. Gonna be a moment. I'm going to go AFK for a little bit and get things kind of shifted around. And I'll be back with a little bit of Mass Effect for like a half hour or so. While we wait for Luna to get off of work so we can continue. So I will be back in just a little bit, probably with some Mass Effect, unless Luna happens to get set a little earlier. But I will return. And also, thank you for joining me.